This segment brought to you in association with Burger King.
Time for sports now. We say good evening to Damien Bash. Damien, I hope you weren't one of those people that lost money betting on India today.
Not a gambling man, Shane, not a gambler. Well, it was possibly the biggest upset of the 2019 ICC World Cup, as pre-tournament favourites India were defeated by New Zealand today in semi-final number 1 and sent packing. New Zealand booked their place in the final by producing the bowling performance of the tournament, edging out India by 18 runs at Old Trafford. Now, chasing 240 to win, India were in early trouble, reduced to 24 for 4 and then 92 for 6 before Ravindra Jadeja with 77 and MS Dhoni with 50 produced a 116-run partnership to drag the 2011 winners back into contention. However, after that ended, India were bowled out for 221. Player of the match, Matt Henry, took 3 for 37. It was the reserve day of the semi-final, which was postponed yesterday mid-innings due to persistent rain. New Zealand resumed this morning on 211 for 5 in 46.1 overs and eventually posted 239 for 8 off their 50. Kane Williamson led with 67. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar took 3 for 43. Outstanding performance. Well, semi-final number 2 is tomorrow between hosts England and main rivals Australia at Edgbaston. Start time 5:30 a.m. Barbados time. Live coverage on MCTV's channel 308 and radio station 94.7 FM. Well, with the world's number 1 team out of the competition, Captain Virat Kohli took his hat off to New Zealand. He noted after the game that the Indian players are sad but are not devastated.
You obviously feel bad for the result, and everyone goes out there to win the game for the team, and if it doesn't happen, you obviously feel like you could have done things differently or look at things in hindsight. But yeah, that's why these games are called knockouts, because if the opposition plays better, you're out of the tournament suddenly. So we have to accept that. I think we're sad, but we're not devastated, because the kind of cricket that we played in this tournament, we know where we stood as a team, and today we were not good enough, and that's the nature of this tournament, that a bad day at the knockout stage and you're out of the tournament. So I don't think that I would like to break things down immediately, but in time we'll have to sit down and analyze where we went wrong and the things that we could have done right in this game particularly.
I want to switch things up, Shane. And Barbados rugby men's team missed out on an opportunity to book a place at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics after they failed to register a single win in the Rugby America's North Sevens Olympic qualifier hosted in Grand Cayman. The Barbados men got a tough initiation into the tournament, going down to eventual winners Canada 47-0 in their opening game. And it was a much closer fixture for the Bajan squad when they faced Bermuda, as players like this excellent try by Christopher Carrington made it a close encounter. Carrington, who is one of the younger players on the team, was a shining star for the Bajans, but it was all in vain as they were edged out 17-15 in that encounter. The Bajans also lost to the tournament runners-up, Jamaica, 24-10. Coming out of the qualifier, Canada booked their place into the 2020 Olympics after a perfect tournament record of 6-0. In the final, they defeated Jamaica 40-5. As a consolation, Jamaica and Mexico were able to qualify for next year's Global Repechage tournament, where the winner will gain that final spot at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Well, Chief Operating Officer of the Caribbean Premier League, Pete Russell, says T20 cricket has no ill effects on player performance in the other formats. Speaking on an episode of the Now Morning Show in Trinidad and Tobago, Russell said players must learn to adapt. He was responding to suggestions that the Windies are one-dimensional, which is the effect of playing too much T20 cricket.
T20 cricket is the most watched form of cricket in the world. So I think, look, there's always a place for Test cricket, of course there is, and that's always going to be the pinnacle of the game, but you can't get away from market forces. Fans want to watch these guys do what they do best, which is play great T20 cricket. You know, it's a different form of cricket, but it's still cricket, and I think you roll the clock forward 10 years, it will be the preeminent format. So, you know, we hope Test cricket survives, but it's what everyone wants to watch, and certainly the players want to play it. It's a mindset. All these guys, you know, technically they're all good players. They can all play Test cricket as much as T20 cricket. There's just a mindset, and if it's your day, it's your day. If it isn't, it isn't. So I think the West Indies have been a little unlucky. But I think you could see some of the performances that they put in. There's some talent there.
Russell also says organisers of the CPL are working with Cricket West Indies to ensure players develop in the right way.
This year we've got 2 development players coming into each squad. So for us it's about moving these young players through a lot more quickly. So you get the Purans, the Hetmars, the Kemar Pauls, all of these guys coming to the fore a lot earlier in the piece. So I think you'll see, certainly in the next cycle, some real quality come through.
The Caribbean Premier League begins on September 4th.